So today I'm talking about a Nissan with the P0445 code, what it is, and how you go about fixing it. So what is the Nissan P0445 code? Well, it's an evaporative emission control system, purge control valve, circuit shorted. And what does this mean? Well, modern cars have an evap system that helps contain all the gas vapors inside the gas tank so they get sent back into the engine and get burnt off and they don't escape into the atmosphere. And the onboard computer is seeing a problem with this, so I have to be troubleshooting to know why. And the most common cause of this is going to be a bad purge valve. It's going to be inside the purge valve wiring or harness and possibly a blown fuse. And there can be some other possible causes, but these will mainly come up if you're getting other codes. So if you are getting other codes, you might want to look at these other things such as a bad fuel cap, pressure sensor, charcoal canister or vent valve, or an evap leak. But the most common causes with the P0445 is going to be these right here. And so the first thing to do when you have any evap problem really is to go check the gas cap. Since it's quick, it's easy to do, and it's a common failure point. And the evap system needs to go into a slight vacuum in order to work properly. And the gas cap is a part of this, so it needs a seal. So just go examine it real quick. Be sure it's not cracked or damaged or anything like this. If it does look damaged, then it might be a good idea to replace. If you do replace it, be sure to get an OEM original gas cap, since third-party aftermarket gas caps, sometimes they don't seal correctly and cause problems. But the first thing to do is go check the gas cap and be sure it's good. And so if that all looks good, then the next thing to do is to go check out the purge valve. And it's just a small little solenoid. It'll have two hoses going to it and a wiring harness. It'll be located up on top of the engine somewhere. It could vary where it's located exactly, but it'll be on top of the engine somewhere. It'll have two hoses going to it and a wiring harness. And so check out these hoses, be sure they're connected good, and check out this wiring harness, be sure it's connected good. Also, it's going to be a good idea to check for any open shorts or anything like that inside this wiring, since anything wrong with the wiring is going to cause the solenoid not to work. So check the wiring for any open shorts or anything like that. And one thing to keep in mind is that this is on a fuse, and it can vary on the location depending on the year and the model of the Nissan. But the fuse is usually located inside the engine compartment somewhere. Sometimes it could be up underneath the dashboard, but it's usually inside the engine compartment. And so be sure to check for any blown fuses. Again, it'll vary on what they call it and its location, but this purge valve is going to be on a fuse. And so if you check out all the wiring and there's no shorts or opens or anything like that, and there's no blown fuses, then very likely this purge valve solenoid has failed. And so you could test it if you wanted to be sure it failed. Most people would just go and replace it since it's a low-cost part. I'll jump over on Amazon and give you an idea how much it costs right now. It's ranging around 18. There's one for 94, there's one for 50. They're relatively low-cost parts, but like I said, you could also go about testing it if you wanted to before you replace it. But the next thing to do would be to either test or replace that purge valve solenoid, since if there's no short in the wiring, there's no open in the wiring, and there's no blown fuse, then very likely at this point, there is a problem with that purge valve solenoid. And so that's basically it. I just want to give a real quick brief overview of how you go about fixing a Nissan with the P0445 code. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll try to answer them. If this video helps you, please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.